when it comes to exploring the great outdoors, the highest mountains and the deep blue sea, what you need is one of these. Because this watch not only has one of the most accurate GPS systems seen on any smartwatch, but it also might be the first watch that allows you to communicate under the sea using sonar, and I'll explain a little bit more in depth about that a little later on in the video. So Huawei has actually upgraded the Ultimate Watch 2 in several ways on top of the sonar functionality, which is good because you won't catch me down there. There's far too many sharks.
Anything on sonar?
I got something.
So there are a bunch of features designed for above ground and even very, very high ground, some of which have carried over from the previous Ultimate Watch. What I'm going to do is focus on the upgrades in comparison to the Ultimate Watch 1. Starting with the design. The body of the Watch Ultimate 2 is made from a zirconium-based liquid metal, making it 8.7 times more corrosion resistant than its predecessor. And they've added a new ultra hard coating that makes this watch 300% more wear resistant than Gen 1. The glass is pure sapphire crystal, and this actually has a Mohs hardness rating of 9. That's just one below diamond. The bezel and the rear of the watch are made from this durable nanocrystal ceramic material, which is skin friendly. It feels super soft against my skin, and it's also highly corrosion resistant for when you are under the sea. Under the sea. All right, I'm going to stop with that meme. So the Huawei Watch Ultimate 2 is available in two distinct styles, the classic Compass Black, which is this one that I have here. And then there is the Ocean Blue model, which has been designed and inspired by the ocean, which is great because when you go, you'll fit right in. So the difference between the Ocean Blue and this one is the Ocean Blue actually has the same fluoroelastomer strap, and it also has a titanium strap, and as opposed to all of the black and red themes here on this one, it'll be kind of blue and metal tones. And both of the watches do come with this kind of elongated strap. Again, this is in there to fit round your wetsuit if you do go scuba diving under the sea. I don't know where else you would go scuba diving, but yeah, it's in there. All right, now let's talk about the display upgrades because there's some significant ones. The display on the Ultimate Watch 2 supports up to 3000 nits of peak brightness, which is a lot more than the Ultimate Watch 1. It's also an LTPO 2.0, which means it's super, super efficient and can slow right down when in the always on mode. And this is important for quite a few reasons. If it's a very sunny day and you're running and you want to check how you're doing, if the display on the watch wasn't bright enough, you might struggle and spend a bit more time looking at it, and next thing you know, you trip on a stone and twist your ankle or something. Huawei have also managed to reduce the bezels by 18% and increase the screen to body by 4%. And because this is an Ultimate Watch, it does have some exclusive themes like this one that I'm using here. So you'll notice there's sort of fire that runs through the watch face, and then there's one for the blue watch face as well, and this also adds a skin to all of the apps and functionality on the device as well. And you'll notice that black and red is everywhere on this watch. It's on the bezel, it's also on the side just beneath the screen there, and it runs right around the outside, and it's also right here under the rotating crown, and this crown actually allows you to navigate the user interface, and it is clickable. When it comes to the amount of watch face options, there's so many. So if you go into watch faces here, it takes you to the store where you can purchase some. There's free ones as well here. And then if you go back and go to my faces, here are the ones that are pre-installed, and you'll see there's a bunch of them. And watch faces that serve all different types of purposes. For example, multifunctional. There's ones just for fitness. There's very simple sort of classic style ones. And the blue core is the one that's designed for the Ocean Blue version of this watch. And if you are wondering, yes, you can add photos from your photo gallery directly to the watch to use as a watch face. And I believe you can actually even create little video ones as well if you want to. And I have been told that some of the watch faces here have actually been designed at the Design Center in Milan, where Huawei actually have a team. And their goal was to blend high-end fashion with cutting-edge technology into a single cohesive product. And I am reading that word for word, how they explained it. And this one right here is called Ink Dance, and it's kind of cool. And you can, of course, switch between the watch faces at any time just by holding your finger down and then using the crown to swipe around, or use your finger to swipe around. Okay, let's talk about diving and water resistance on this watch. So the Ultimate Watch 2 has actually achieved the title of a professional grade diving tech, and it can survive up to 150 meters. It also meets the ISO 6425 certification and the EN 13319 diving standard certification. So this watch has really been engineered for deep sea diving, and it does have an official 20 ATM water resistance rating. Now, something that's really clever about this watch, at 30 meters or more, the actual technology inside mechanically seals the structure of the watch. And when this happens, it can actually measure the pressure inside and outside of the device. And actually, this is the industry's first smartwatch with audio and 100-meter dive capabilities. Okay, so now let's talk about really what might be the most unique feature on this watch, and maybe the most unique feature on any smartwatch: the ability to speak under the sea. Not to crabs and fish though. So for the longest time, when it comes to actually sending messages while scuba diving, it involves kind of hand gestures and things like that. Well, that is kind of old school. Huawei have actually set out to improve this technique by introducing underwater comms on the Ultimate Watch 2. And it does this by using sound waves underwater. Yes, I am talking about sonar-based technology, and the effective distance of this is actually up to 30 meters. So the caveat to this feature is that the Ultimate Watch 2 can only communicate underwater with other Ultimate Watch 2s. So if you have a diving school or something like that, or you have friends that you always go diving with, then if you all had this watch, what you can do is actually talk to each other under the sea, and you can set up quick messages and set up specific messages for specific types of modes as well. And the SOS feature can travel up to 60 meters. So if you're going cave diving or anything like that, this could truly save your life. And actually, this one watch can communicate with up to 50 additional watches underwater. My only concern with this would be if I end up summoning some kind of big fish.
Anything on sonar? I got something.
But anyway, let's talk about the above ground stuff now. So this watch actually has the Sunflower GPS system, and it's one of the most advanced. So the watch can actually pick up GPS even when it's sideways like this or like this. A lot of other very popular smartwatches can only pick up GPS when the watch face is facing the sky. So that gives this watch a big advantage when it comes to accuracy. It was already very good on the Ultimate Watch 1. I think they said they got it down to a 10-meter radius. Now it's actually down to 8 meters, and it does have 5 system positioning as well, which is more than some other smartwatches. And if you're into golf, using the app, you can actually download 1,600 different golf courses from around the world, and it will actually install all of the data on the watch with contour maps and everything. And then you'll be able to access it right here, your distance from the hole, the elevation, all that kind of stuff right there on your wrist. It would almost be like cheating, to be honest. And there's also other golf features like the driving range mode, where the watch can actually help you improve your swing and all this kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. And there is another standout feature here on this watch. It's called the X-Tap technology. So this multi-sensing X-Tap sensor here on the side houses 3 sensors: an ECG, a PPG, and blood pressure sensors, and is positioned just between the 2 buttons on the right hand side of the watch. And the reason this is so great is because most smartwatches will try and read through your wrist, and the problem with that is there is blood flow in there, but there's also loads of bones and ligaments and things like that. If you measure through the tip of your finger, however, you get a much more accurate reading. And to use this, all you need to do, you don't need to activate an app or anything. You just put your finger right there and it starts automatically. And the X-Tap feature actually works with Huawei's Health Glance, which gives you a look at 11 vitals, including heart rate, SpO2, body temperature, ECG, as well as a bunch of other things. And I just like how easy Huawei have made this to do. And the X-Tap technology also powers the upgraded high altitude monitoring feature. So if you're planning to scale as high as 4,500 meters, you can actually use the X-Tap technology along the way to identify any risk of altitude sickness. And it can even suggest breathing exercises to bring you back to baseline. This watch also has fall detection, so it can alert friends and family or even emergency services if you do take a big fall. And you can actually have it contact your local contacts first and then the emergency services if they don't respond. And this watch does have eSIM, which means you can use it standalone to make phone calls. And apparently the AI algorithms in the watch for noise cancellation when taking calls via the watch has been improved as well. And Huawei watches tend to have phenomenal battery life, and it all depends on how you use it. So if you are using it regularly, they say up to 4.5 days on a single charge. But with light use, it can last up to 11 days on a single charge, which is kind of crazy. Okay, so there we go. That was a quick look at the Huawei Watch Ultimate 2. The price on this model right here is actually $799 at launch. And the blue one, if you're the type of person who plans to go
under the sea,
might be better suited for you, but it is £100 more expensive because you do get that titanium strap with it. There are some deals right now where you get some free buzz if you do order one of these watches, so definitely take a look and see if that's still running. And yeah, we'll be testing this out in the water at some point, but I think I'll probably stay in the shallows. Second thoughts, maybe you should watch another channel where someone has taken this deep sea diving. Appreciate you guys watching this one. If you just subscribed, you're now one of the finest. Subscribers know to man. See you in the next one. Don't be late.